Hello, my name's Scott Forbes, and excited to be here today. We're with Don Sprick, and we are with Jim Warren and Don Sprick at Freewheeling. My background, real quickly, is I'm a singer-songwriter. Had a few successes with getting songs placed in movies. The biggest I ever did was the movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf. I've had songs in Criminal Minds, My Name is Earl. Movie called In Plain View, and lots of commercials over the years. Wrote Kentucky Fried Chicken commercials, did different things like that. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to talk to the boys. My favorite thing, no frills, no foo-foo, basic rock, tight. Good drumming, good playing, good singing, good songwriting. All right, why don't you talk about your background?
Well, we come from Grand Rapids. Jimmy and the guys came from Jenison, which is real close to that, and I was from Walker, as well as John, and as long as Al. And we had a band called Freewheeling some 40 years ago, and this is a reunion. In fact, our new song is called Reunion Jam.
Talk about the other guys in the band.
Well, you had mentioned the drummer.
Oh, yeah, he's
Al
killer.
the Machine, that's what we call him.
Al the Machine, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He played with Don for years.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's been down recording in the Alliance down in Howell, which you know those
Yeah.
guys. He's really good. But then go ahead with the others.
Oh, yeah. John Drecke, bass player, super solid.
Yeah. They lock that kick drum and
Oh, yeah, they do.
bass guitar, man. You got to have that for good basic rock.
Yeah. And Jimmy Markle on keyboards, and we grew up as friends as kids.
Yeah.
And just to be back with these guys again after, with like John and Jimmy, I think it's been almost 40 years since we've seen each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's
This is just really interesting how this came across, because I don't know whether Jimmy had called me or I had called him a couple of years ago. We had been in contact over the years, and we jammed here and there. I don't know, one of us reached out, and Jimmy came up here, and we sat in my house, and I don't know. It was played some music,
Yeah.
and we didn't.
Happened organically.
It really did. And then John came floating across our Facebook.
Yeah, right at the time we were trying to figure out what we're going to do.
What are we going to do?
Where we're going to find a bass player.
And looking for the other
Just
piece.
happened.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the new record,
Okay.
Cut by Cut, Freewheeling.
Well, Freewheeling is something that Jimmy had in his pocket as far as the rhythm of the thing went, and we wanted to do kind of a who we are, freewheeling, and that's kind of where the lyrics came from. Real close to where Jimmy lives was this cool old gas station.
Yeah, I just reached out to the guy, and he had just a small little town, had this old gas station and a bar that was just barely hanging on, and a little grocery store, and this guy just put a ton of effort into that building.
I saw it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a hot rod shop.
Yeah.
It's built hot rod
Yeah.
frames and stuff there. And super nice guy, and just reached out to him. I think I stopped and talked to him once before.
Okay.
And just reached out to him on Facebook, and I said, hey, what would you charge us? He's like, it'd be my pleasure. Just come on out. Anything you need. So super.
Yeah, it was cool. Video has really, gone not neck and neck. It just flows right with the tunes, and you guys got great videos.
Gabe does a good job.
Great job. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, that was actually the second video we shot, first song we did, but we did 2 videos in one day.
Yeah.
And the other one, which we'll go to next now, is Ain't It a Beautiful Day. Jimmy had a perfect setting down there, and we did most of it on his deck.
And a beautiful day we did it on, too.
It sure was.
Every time we were working on that song, it was a beautiful day.
There's another young fella from this area, watch his name, remember it. Mark Simons is acting in that video, and he is now, I believe, about to graduate from Interlochen, and he'll be going places.
Next tune, let's go into it.
Okay, so the next song was You're the One, and we kind of laid that song into Gabe's hands to kind of do the production of the thing, and it was done here locally at
The Raven.
The Raven, yeah. So
yodeling.
yeah.
Yodeling, hey, how cool. Basic rock yodel, folks.
Whole lot of promises ain't my spiel, but I can love you, and I will. Well, I can't yodel, but yodeling, you're the one, you're the one. I can't yodel, but yodeling, you're the one.
Yeah. I don't even know where that came from, but we laughed about it when it came. So, and you know, these songs, some of them, they'll just come from a riff that Jimmy has or a riff that I have, and then we go after it and do it like that. And a lot of fun. There was a lot of people had a lot of fun in that one.
Let's go on to the next song.
What's Around the Corner? So that kind of features our bass player, John, riding his bike. We actually did it in his club down in Grand Rapids. That was a song that came from a riff that Jimmy had written, and we fashioned the song around that riff. That first song that Jimmy Markle was back on. It kind of brought Freewheeling back together.
Do you think it's kind of hard to write a good simple song rather than a complex song? I do.
I just copy a Seeger line. What to leave in, what to leave out.
Yeah.
What to leave out is more important.
Yeah.
It can be a phrase that has too many words, and you have to rework that so that it lays in there.
Yeah.
You really have to work on that, and you have to do the same for us with guitar playing.
Okay.
So Jimmy works to make his statement, not just to ramble. You know, that works for us.
Yeah. Now, your inspiration for songwriting, who were your peeps that you grew up with that you loved?
For me, I could go back to laying in front of my parents' console stereo and listening to the Monkees.
Really?
I just loved that stuff. Just laid there, wonder how them guys got inside that box.
70s rock, early 70s rock, that era, that
Zeppelin.
tone. Yeah, Zeppelin, Thin Lizzy, you know, the rock guitar, that era.
Yeah.
Montrose.
Yeah, Montrose very much. So, you know, I tend to go for that same tone.
Yeah.
You know, not much in the effects, just a wah-wah pedal and an amp.
With our band, I don't think that we have somebody that we go after because we're all different. John, Al, Jimmy Markle, our keyboard player, Jimmy and I, we all have a different inspiration, and we don't crowd each other with it.
Good.
It's Jimmy and I trying to put the framework into the song, but then, you know what, we get out of it. Al and John, they'll work out the bass and the drums. So when we come back in, okay, we got to work around. John and Al are both good at coming up with, okay, we got to do this here, you know. And Jimmy Markle, as he's coming in more and more, will be more involved in that. With our first band, Freewheeling, we didn't play a lot of cover songs, and it's not. I love cover bands. You get a good cover band, I love to go watch them. So it's no thing. It's just that that wasn't where we were pulled. And so we were writing. In fact, we have 2 songs that we're working on, and one of them is coming back. It's called The Way It Is. It's coming back from the Freewheeling days.
Are you guys planning on doing any playing around Michigan, or?
We are working toward that end. We're working on a couple of new songs right now. Our first goal, I think, was to record 10 songs and do 10 videos.
Okay.
When that time comes for us to go out, we would like to be able to at least advertise, hey, you can see who we are on YouTube, rather than just come back to it when we haven't been in it in front of people for a long time.
You know, the advantage today, and a lot of people don't think about it, they always go, oh man, I like the old days when this happened or that happened. Actually, with the whole digital revolution, there's tremendous opportunity for people. A lot of bands are busted by YouTube and by other platforms. And that couldn't have happened before. My son's whole career happened because of that. And you're seeing more and more people. But I'm waiting, and it might be you guys, that we get a band that's a little bit seasoned.
Hey,
a little bit more seasoned that busts out, and it will happen. I mean, it's, you know, the whole thing of and that's what kind of, with country, which kind of made me mad. Everything's like the pretty boy up there singing, you know. It's okay, but give me good music like you guys play. From the last material to this right now, it seems like this is a little more space in it. There's not quite as much production. It seems like it's more just...
So I'm going to give Jimmy some big creds here. He works basically through Pro Tools, and he has a little studio down there, and I have this one up here, and he does a very good job of capturing what it is that the guys have laid down. And you had asked earlier about our influences. We try to leave that aside and influence each other, if you will, if I can say it that way. And Jimmy does a very good job of not only capturing that, but then he takes his time with it, and you don't push it, and he'll let it roll out in front of him, and he's just
Okay.
very easy to work with that way. And what he comes up with at the end, I don't have much to say about it. He just does a great job.
How do you keep the energy up?
Honestly, it's just so much fun. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is to just, I'm so grateful to be able to do this again.
Yeah, nothing like doing it for love.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. What did Jimmy or John made the statement? Like, I can't believe we're all still alive. So.
I'm Scott Forbes, and we've had a great time today. I love this place, love the whole vibe, everything that's happening, and great talking to Don Sprick and with Jim Warren and the Freewheeling Band, and looking forward to hanging out with you guys in the future.